Does that still keep you awake at night?
Well, at the end of the day, we won the pitch. I'd also won 2 pitches earlier that day over the guys.
Yeah.
It was a little bit tongue-in-cheek, and perhaps, you know, we hadn't had the amount of communication before we went into that meeting. So Yasmina hadn't spoke to me in depth about what was actually going to be involved in these
blaming it on her,
canopies, as I called them. Yeah. So I think I'm sharing the blame, really.
Well, as much as you struggled in episode 2, you were unrecognisable, a different woman in the later tasks.
I'll put some adventure back into your breakfast with my tasty treasure flakes. Action!
Well, Kate, your advertising campaign seemed to be the best one.
It's all natural products. We sourced it all locally, made it ourselves yesterday. Thank you very much. Bye. Anyone interested in buying a bike? Cheers, mate.
OK, we'll make a deal, 3 quid.
Oh, thank you very much. Pleasure doing business. We know that Margate was once a very well-regarded tourist resort, and we believe that through our campaign we can make it very popular once again.
Good team leader, you think?
She was very good. Very good.
He must have been good if he said very good.
But you've got a psychology degree. Did that help you with the way you deal with people?
It's actually a business degree. I went to the business school. It was psychology and management, so it was integrated. So it was looking at the psychology of business. So rather than studying just how people work, it was more, you know, about consumer behaviour and things like that. But I think that the fact that I chose to study that reflects an interest in people in general and working with other people and how they behave and react and how to get the best out of them.
As a businesswoman, Michelle, could you see the talent she showed for that kind of communication?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as I said earlier, you tick all the boxes apart from trying to connect with people more. But I definitely think that you've got an incredible future ahead of you.
Thank you.
Jonathan, it was said how good she was, and that was kind of used against her. She was too efficient. She was almost robotic, they said.
I just thought that was weird whenever I heard that. I thought either you're good at your job or you're not. I don't know, but, you know, you seemed pretty warm at home. I didn't find her robotic. I just thought she seemed professional and very unflappable. And maybe, you know, a little bit possibly too competent, you know, and sometimes people, I think, when someone looks like they're really comfortable and really finding it easy, that actually counts against you in something like this.
Would you like to do business with Kate?
I'd love to do business with Kate, providing your pricing architecture is right.
But you know what she reminded me of? A Barbie doll, you know, that little... Because that was my role model. I went from, like, cheerleader Barbie to menopause Barbie. And there you were, just the perfect woman. So where we got robotic, I have no idea.
Yeah. There was a heart-stopping moment right at the beginning of the final task when you get some of the old lot back and you've got to pick them. Like you're picking a football team in the school playground. I could barely bear to watch when it got down to the last 3, and one of them was you-know-who, and it was your pick. What happened next?
Over to you, Kate.
Kim.
Why didn't you just go for him, for heaven's sake?
Because if I would have chosen Philip, then I was at risk of the whole final task becoming about what Kate and Philip are up to together, and are they having a bit of a flirt, and is she getting distracted? And that wasn't what it was about. It was supposed to be about business. I didn't want anybody to have any ammunition, really, I suppose, to aim at me to say that I wasn't fully focused.
But with his choreography skills...
Well, had I known he was so good at dancing and, you know, putting a routine together, then perhaps I would have chosen him.
Should she have picked Philip? Might that have got her through, Jonathan?
I don't know. I love the... Well, I tell you what I love about Philip, and I did enjoy Philip in it, because Philip came across as an enormous cock most of the time. but I couldn't help but see a lot of myself in him. It's the truth, because you just want to... I can see he just wants to do a bit. He wanted to do a bit of everything. He wanted to join in. He's like, I'll sing the song. I'll write the song. He was like Dennis Waterman in Little Britain, you know, sing the theme tune, right? And he wanted to do the dancing, and he pants man. And even this week he's going, you know, look at pants man, you know, like... No one liked it back then, but they'll come around. No, they won't! But I love the fact he still believes they will.
Yeah, delusional.
Well...
Just personally, I just want to know, what did you see in him?
He's a good-looking boy.
Lovely. He's cute, but, you know, there's depth.
Here's Lorraine outing you and Philip, as it were, in the boardroom.
unfortunately, outside of this boardroom, you know, there is a close friendship going on here, and I believe on that day, you know, it did affect their ability.
What's all this close friendship nonsense?
It's not friends. It has absolutely nothing to do with business, and anyone that tries to imply that it does,
well, I just
it's a cheap tactic, and
it's not a tactic. It's a fact. I don't want to sort of bring personal issues into a business matter.
I don't want to bring personal issues into this, but I just have. What were your feelings at that moment? Embarrassed?
Yeah, I was quite embarrassed because, you know, everybody in that house had got girlfriends, boyfriends, wives, husbands back home, and, you know, what you do in your own time, it's your private life, and it didn't distract me on that task. It was a really bad task. We didn't sell anything, but looking back now, I think perhaps Lorraine did have a valid point, because Philip said himself that he was distracted, and if I was the reason for that, then fair play to Lorraine for bringing it up.
Michelle?
Well, you know, I work with my husband, and I have done for many years, and it's been highs and lows, but, you know, we don't have sex in the boardroom or anything, but, you know, we've had to be really, really professional. It's him.
Not what I've heard. I've heard their annual ball meeting is quite a treat.
But, you know, what we do is we're very, very professional. My PA talks to his PA, we meet in the boardroom, and we have serious...
And they say romance is dead, eh?
But, you know, I think that Philip, I had him all the way through to the semi-finals, if not the winner, to be honest with you. But he did take his eye off the ball. And when you take your eye off the ball, the business suffers. And that's exactly what he did.
But I like that you got rid of him. You know what I mean? You know, it's like, the female spider. You know, you mate and then you spit him out. Like a chocolate.
Yeah.
Well, what a lovely way to go, though, eh, fellas?
Well, you said the personal relationship didn't get in the way of business, and I got to say, I think you might be right. You were hardly beside yourself with emotion when he was fired, were you?
We'll find a place with his room. And yes, we've just begun.
What did he say to you?
Did you get emotional?
No.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
What did he do?
At the end of the day, we're here for a business process, and I always said personal relationships will not get in the way of my performance, and that stands inside the boardroom, outside the boardroom. Gave him a peck on the cheek. He wished me good luck, and I walked out. That was it.
Not even a little tear, a little pang of regret?
No, it's not like I was never going to see him again, but he was a strong competitor of mine. I think he'd been identified as being very competent and a real strong contender quite early on in the process. So, to be honest, it didn't do my chances any harm, so no, it wasn't too sad.
Could I be so indelicate to ask, what is the situation now?
Oh, yeah, we all want to know.
Oh, I don't want to talk about it too much. You know, it's a business programme after all.
Not anymore.
I'm really pleased that we met, albeit in a very bizarre situation. And let's just say he can share a box of Shock d'Amour with me any day of the week.
Isn't that lovely? Ruby, you've got some things you've chosen from the girls' side of things. We'll start with Kate, and it was her dance moves and the way she moved her mouth that you like so much. Just talk us through it before we get into it.
Well, first of all, the blonde had a flaw that she went kind of into a horse-like face.
Yeah.
So I was happy. She didn't understand that the phone comes to you. That she didn't have, so I'd really like to see her eat. You know, why did you have to talk like this? Were you paralyzed? Or, what went wrong with you?
I have no idea. I was absolutely mortified when I watched it, because we'd never had a TV recorder, camcorder when I was growing up. So I didn't really realise that
you talk like that. Maybe those aren't real teeth and they just slipped.
There was all that, and then there was your very individual dance move that you did every time you won a task.
Okay, right, just a bit of an update for you. I'm afraid there's been a slight change of plan here. Will be when you've got any ideas of what you'd like us to do. And if we did a good enough job on the 4 cards that we committed to,